The cases that Alvin Bragg and Tish James brought against him are politically, okay, well, there's a reversal. Right, because the same people, right. Alvin Bragg, that's the one about the hush money to Stormy Daniels, right? And Tish James is the one about his business dealings. Apparently, he's a crook. Is Trump right to think those cases are politically motivated?
First, Trump is never right in my book. Just to start this off.
Was there ever a time when you were friends? I mean, he goes way back in New York, as you do.
He goes way back. We're both from Queens, New York.
Right, that's
Our
what I
families
mean.
knew each other. I dealt with him extensively through COVID, literally on a daily basis. No, we were never friends.
Okay.
What is interesting about the question is there was actually a poll. Alvin Bragg, the Manhattan District Attorney, brought the first case against Trump. This is before Mar-a-Lago, before January 6th, which were, in my opinion, frankly, more serious cases. But they did a poll after Alvin Bragg brought the case. 76% of Americans said it was politically influenced. 76%. 76% of Americans don't agree on the color of the flag.
Tensions flared on Real Time with Bill Maher when the subject shifted to Donald Trump's legal woes, including the surprising fact that 76% of Americans think the charges against him are politically motivated. Bill Maher, leaning in with his trademark smile, quickly challenged former Governor Andrew Cuomo on the broader ramifications of public cynicism, the judicial system. Cuomo, obviously moved, said that although Trump has continually behaved recklessly, the true threat is the loss of public trust in legal institutions. He attacked the choice to begin with instances like the Stormy Daniels hush money scandal and charges of exaggerated assets, calling it a strategic error that enables Trump to portray himself as a political martyr. Maher pushed the issue further, questioning if investigating these small complaints makes the justice system seem petty, especially while more serious claims like mishandling nuclear secrets and instigating the January 6th insurrection remain unresolved. Both men feel that each indictment seems to improve Trump's standing among his fans, translating legal guilt into political currency. Finally, they came to a sobering conclusion. The validity of the court system is at stake, not just Trump's guilt or innocence.
But 76% said it was politically influenced. And I think that is telling, Bill, because if we don't trust government, we don't trust the media, etc. If this country believes that the justice system itself is then politically tainted, then we have real trouble, because then you're on the precipice of anarchy. But that's what I found telling about that. It was more the public opinion was so high that politics is influencing the justice system.
And, I mean, Trump is the kind of guy, the more he goes to jail, the more popular he becomes. It's like, it's street cred. He's like a rapper. But it's true.
It's absolutely true.
And also, I never thought they should have brought the Stormy Daniels one. And the fact that there's one, it just, to the people who don't follow it closely, you know, they should have just had one he's generally a piece of shit trial. About one omnibus piece of shit.
And
the Stormy Daniels case, it's like you're asking America to then think of this former porn star as a hero, and Michael Cohen, who's a known liar and fixer, as a hero. And it was really a books and records case that was upcharged to beat the statute of limitations. So, yeah, it made it really easy to roll your eyes on the other ones that were more serious.
The fear is that hush money or inflating your assets, it does reduce the veracity of much more serious crimes, including nuclear secrets and trying to overturn the peaceful transfer of power. I think it was just a tactical error to go after the first two.
The discussion sheds light on the growing perception that the U.S. legal system becoming politicized, threatening to weaken public trust and generate social instability. Critics argue that putting lower-profile issues like the Stormy Daniels case ahead of more important accusations about national security and democratic integrity weakens the court system's authority. This apparent mismanagement raises concerns about political bias and diverts attention away from more serious offenses. The final result is a loss of faith in the system's impartiality to retain its legitimacy. The judicial system must strive for transparency and equal accountability, especially in today's more polarized political environment.
Melissa, is there a way to make politics less about personal vendettas and more about governing? Yeah, again, that's why I said at the beginning, I see why you two are pissed. Because, Democrats at their best, I think, are wonks. And I mean that as a great compliment. It's the one thing that Republicans, you don't usually find Republican wonks. They're Reagan, give me it on one page. Bush, give me it on one page. They're one-pagers. And government is complicated. And I know you two put in the time.
Government is complicated, and sometimes it requires sharp elbows, and sometimes it requires you to have to be tough in order to be effective. But the thing I find so funny about it is in the reaction to my book, some of it is people saying, oh, this is, she wants to go out and attack people that attacked them. And I'm like, okay, well, there was a point when you were comparing me to Hitler's enabler, but now we're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't criticize anybody. Don't call this out. And really what I find interesting is nobody wants to talk about the facts of what happened. Because when you look at the facts of what happened, it's so damning. So it's easy to make it about personalities and about vendettas and about everything else.
Well, I feel like those things carry the day. To answer that question I asked you at the beginning, why would a liberal state with a liberal paper go after a liberal governor? Because, I'm sorry, make it all about generations, but a lot of the younger generation who was raised on the phone, which makes you shady and passive-aggressive and mean and fake. I'm sorry, it just does. I don't think, you think they care about policy first and foremost? I don't. I think they take glee in this kind of shit. They like taking, especially that nest of vipers that's Albany.
Yeah. No, they love it. It's sport. It's actual sport.
It's sport. So it's like, he's on my same team. Who gives a shit whose team? You know what? I'm on my team, and it's so. Now again, I don't know what happened, and I don't know who's at fault, but I know there's two sides.
The conversation also covered the disintegration of contemporary administration, highlighting how party politics may devolve into personal feuds at the expense of constructive governance. The panel emphasized the negative impact of media sensationalism and personality-based conflict, which often overshadow legitimate policy debates. Younger generations influenced by social media have been accused of engaging in performative fury and aggressive discourse rather than supporting constructive dialogue. This cultural shift, along with growing divide, creates significant challenges for leaders attempting to address complex national issues. The panel stressed the urgent need to move beyond tribal loyalties and embrace pragmatic, solution-oriented leadership, but this is still an ongoing problem.
Scott, how can we prevent China from using AI to sow chaos and disrupt our elections? Well, we can't.
It's too late. You're about to see an AI misinformation lollapalooza in Q1 and Q2 as Putin recognizes the fastest blue line path between him and victory in Ukraine is the re-election of Donald Trump. So if you're spending $70 billion and 100,000 lives a year fighting a losing war in Ukraine, wouldn't you be stupid not to spend $5 or $10 billion on Albanian troll farms, A/B tested information, and then an amoral management team in social media who will feel really bad about the misinformation the day after the election when all the checks have cleared? We are about to see the weaponization of media platforms that have no fidelity to the Commonwealth, and the GRU and AI deposition Biden and Harris. We're going to see the first real externality of AI in Q1 and Q2 of next year in terms of misinformation around the election.
But Ozempic's still more important.
The group expressed grave worries about the increasing danger of AI-driven misinformation in elections, saying that improvements in generative AI might allow the widespread transmission of hyper-targeted disinformation, further weakening voting integrity. They also warned that hostile foreign players, such as Vladimir Putin's Russia, might use AI as a low-cost geopolitical weapon to influence public opinion and alter democratic outcomes. Stop worsening the problem by highlighting the role of unregulated media sources whose lack of oversight provides fertile ground for deceptive narratives. The panel emphasized the critical necessity for proactive steps to combat AI abuse and protect democratic institutions from being undermined at the digital edge.
So what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you don't want to miss out on the hottest celebrity news, make sure to subscribe to Daily Finder.